Okay, welcome to the Karen Mitches podcast. Today we have David Foggia.
Hi, Karen.
How are you doing today?
Good. How about you?
I'm well, thank you. Other than the super shitty weather.
Yeah, it is very gray. It's ugly.
How did you hold up this winter?
I loved the winter. I think this was the best winter in years, honestly, because it was always cold. Like, it was cold and snowy, like, throughout. It was just none of this up and down shit.
Oh, so that's what bothers you.
Yeah.
I like when we have, like, one of these, like, non-winters.
Where it's, like, warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess what I really want is, like, a real winter, but I have enough money to travel.
Yeah, sure. I mean, so what's the point of having a real winter? Then you get to leave.
But I think I could, like, appreciate it if I just left for a couple weeks here and there.
And watched everyone suffer.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a real winter, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's hard to go all the way through, like, a full winter.
We did it.
We did it. We survived.
Yeah.
Are we better for it?
I think so. Maybe. Who knows? Dude, I don't know what makes us better.
If there was a warm part of Canada, would you move there?
I love Toronto.
Yeah.
I love the Four Seasons. Yeah.
So this is your town and you're staying forever.
Forever.
What was it like growing up here?
I grew up in a super Italian and Portuguese neighborhood, and it was really nice. Honestly, just like there was like a bakery near my house. There still is. That was like the hub of the York Southwestern represent rustic bakery, and it was just like there was stuff going on in the summer. There were a lot of kids in the area, and just I don't know. It felt very fun. The neighborhood was fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Did you grow up with a lot of kids in your neighborhood? Or?
Yeah, like I grew up in London, Ontario, and yeah, there was lots of kids in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
And my parents' neighborhood didn't stay that way. Like after we left,
Did it
felt like everyone grew up at the same time or something. But yeah, our neighborhood was full of kids. It was really fun.
And did a lot of those kids leave, or did they stay?
Well, I guess
London?
I have friends I grew up with who are raising kids in our neighborhood, but it feels like a lot of people got priced out of the neighborhood.
Wow. Back when?
We would have been kids in the 80s, teens in the 90s, and then my friends would have started buying homes in the 2000s, like mostly at the end of that.
Wow.
And a lot of them would have gone to a cheaper neighborhood, and then you'd get like the next decade was like when people who would have bought in didn't buy in at all, or just
Yeah.
And
how far would you have to move to get like a affordable property?
not that far. Like I feel like people were just going like one neighborhood over, like big neighborhood kind of to like, but then it kept going.
Sure.
So yeah,
You're seeing it now, like even in Toronto, like the Italians, they would have been in like obviously downtown, then they moved to North York, then they moved to Woodbridge, Vaughan region, now they're moving to like King City, now they're moving to Barrie. It's just like always more north or outwards.
Yeah. Are your parents still where you grew up?
Yeah.
Do you go home a lot?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, I live with them.
Oh, you're still home.
Sorry, yeah. I should have said that. So I'm not just trying to be cool. Yeah, no, I'm at home. Yeah.
Okay. So how far? What neighborhood are you in?
Neighborhood. Well, the what do you call it? The zone is York Southwestern, but it'd be like Maple Leaf. I don't know, like Keel and Wilson.
Okay.
Sick area.
Amazing.
It's kind of like run down, but there's nice restaurants. Now it's becoming super Turkish. So it's just, I don't know, just a run down, cool neighborhood.
I love it. How are your parents to live with?
They're okay. They're good. It's been better. Like in the beginning, like during COVID, it was ass, and I was a piece of shit. But I've gotten better.
Were you early 20s during COVID?
COVID 2020. I would have been 21 when it started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you in school?
No, I was just doing comedy.
Okay. Are your parents supportive of your comedy?
They must be. They let me live with them still. I guess. They are. Yeah. They're just unsure of where it's going.
Yeah. They're like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Your parents know you do?
Yeah. But I feel like my parents are very old. They're in their 80s and 90s.
You told me that, yeah.
I was already like in a career job when I started doing. I feel like at that, like it would have been different if I was doing it as a young person.
Yeah.
They know I know how to like take care of myself.
Clearly, you're not living with them.
And I feel like because I didn't have a very impressive job, it's like, well, maybe you'll be interesting at this job.
And you are. You get on stage and you do weird stuff, which is so. It was so surprising because you truly are just like, you look like a regular person. You look like a regular like woman who has a job, but you get on stage and you're doing like little stories about Grimace and McDonald's. So really, that's kind of yeah.
Thank you. You're also doing some weird stuff.
Really? I don't know.
I love seeing you on Mondays at Smalls.
Yeah, that mic is amazing.
I feel like it's got like it's a weirdly supportive room and a fun place to try new stuff. So it's sort of interesting, like seeing you work stuff out over time.
And likewise to you and to everyone. I think like those rooms are rare. Those mics like that are rare where people really try.
Yeah.
And listen.
Because usually it's like if it's mostly comics, people are on their phone or they're like outside or being rude.
But it speaks to Joe Arsenal, who runs it. I don't know why. Do people watch?
Yeah.
Okay, they do. Okay, so Joe Arsenal. Sorry, that wasn't. I thought it was just like whatever.
But it's sort of weird. It's like people will check out people in the scene that they're interested in. So I don't know who will watch yours.
Okay, true. Probably no one. We'll see. Sorry, Karen. Sorry. I'm really. Anyways, Joe Arsenal runs the Smalls Kitchen mic, and Joe builds such a great vibe. So honestly, he himself, like you, I could tell has like a genuine interest in creative writing.
Yeah.
And in such a dingy little bar, that energy existing is, I think, incredible. So rare.
Yeah. Do you write as well, like outside of your stand-up?
No.
Because you seem like you do.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not that good. I tried writing other stuff, but I tried writing poetry and shit like that. But have you?
I'm trying at screenwriting, and I used to do some poetry.
How's that? How's the screenwriting going on?
The screenwriting is really fun. I'm obsessed with it.
It's nice. Why can't I be obsessed with it?
You should be.
It's okay.
Okay, do you have a theater background?
No.
No? What?
I just liked, we did plays in like class or whatever, but.
Yeah.
Do you have a theater background?
No.
Okay. So what the fuck is wrong with me?
I really feel like from your stand-up, you seem like you were an actor or a writer. No.
No, I mean, I've liked to, I have done acting. Like in school, but no, not like I was never an actor before comedy. I just started stand up when I was a teenager, and then that's what I wanted to do. But
and then when you started doing stand up, did you find your voice right away?
No, it was so bad. I'm so glad you see me. When did you start?
3 years ago.
Oh God, yeah.
2023. I
was so bad. I did not have a voice.
What year did you start in?
2016.
Fuck.
Yeah, Obama was still president.
And you were in your late teens?
I was 17.
What? You were like Izzy.
Yeah.
I saw Izzy when he was still a baby.
Same. I remember when he first started. I think I saw his first set. Izzy's sick.
Yeah. I remember him being at the lab and somebody being like, he's a teenager. And I thought they were lying.
Yeah. And then I remember that film, but then people like latch around you kind of. People like want to like, I don't know, influence the young kid.
Oh.
So I remember I saw Izzy, and for a while I just left him alone because I knew that there's always like 40, 50-year-old comics who just, I don't know, they just want power.
They want to like be your mentor.
They want to be your mentor even though they have no no skills to be a mentor. They have no real capacity to be a mentor.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be like you've been in it so long that you have all this wisdom.
Yeah. Oh, but you've been at it, what, like 18 months? And you want to fucking shut up.
I would like to be a mentor. I think that would
Don't.
be fun.
That's like the sign of like a bad mentor. Seriously. We should never want to like spew advice ever.
But then does that mean that the only people who will be mentors will be bad people?
No. Yes. Probably. However, it means that like the cream of the crop will rise, and simply by like, I believe, what do you call it? By displaying their prowess, people will see. And did I say anything, dude? I mean, like you shouldn't say what you're good at. You should just do what you're good at.
Yeah.
There.
I like that. But also, as a person who talks a lot, I feel like sometimes it's hard not to give advice or opinion constantly.
But you don't seem like a person that does that.
I have a podcast.
No, but you're not. Yeah, but you're letting me speak like 50% of the time here. Or I've seen you at some of the podcasts, you let them speak like 75, 80, 90. So you're not on here. This is a Karen Mitches podcast, but it's not Karen Mitches is a genius podcast and what she's learned.
Do you think that I would get more views if I was more arrogant?
Yeah, maybe.
Is that how one succeeds in podcasting?
Dude, I have no clue how anyone succeeds in anything in this.
Will you tell me about when you podcasted?
Yeah, it was with Kyle Pan and Sam Burns, and it was a music podcast where they just judged. They each brought a band, and they just judged the bands. It's called Battle of the Bands. They still do it, and then they would just talk about the band and stuff like that.
So then, were you? I just want to hold this a little lower. Is that okay?
Of course. Sorry.
So they were each bringing a band, and you were just chatting about the bands with them?
Yes, and then I would judge. They would bring 3 songs from the bands, and I would just judge which was better, which I liked more.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It is. It was fun. They didn't like me because I was too like spastic. I was like, I thought they would. Dude, they told me we want you to come on here and add a bit of like fireworks to it. So I added fireworks, but then they didn't like the fireworks. It was too explosive for them.
I love it.
They did.
Was there one like especially egregious moment?
There were several. At one point, Kyle, literally, we had a stare down during a podcast where he told the battery died on a camera, and Kyle was like, "Well, whose job is it to check that?" And I just stared at him, and we stared at each other, and then the 2 guests were also there, just like, "What the fuck is going on?" But we're cool. Me and Kyle are cool. But yeah, definitely. They have improv backgrounds, and I don't have an improv background, and whenever they would like try to do bits on improv, I would just like step on it, which wasn't good at it.
Do you think it's something like because you just don't have that kind of practice?
Yes. Yeah, and they're very good at that. So yeah, you were talking about doing improv, or you did it.
So like I did like I've done an improv class here and there. And then I had the weird experience where like I was on a show and Ben Norman Davies was like, "Do you want to do improv tonight?" So I went up with Derek Kalala, and
Legend.
he is wonderful. So me and him were on stage, and I was like, "Oh, this is fucking harder than you think." Like, because I'd never in class, it's just like if you're winning, if you're keeping it going, right? Whereas like on stage, you're trying to get a laugh, and I wasn't. I was like, "What the fuck? I didn't know this was hard."
That's so true. Yeah, of course. You don't remember that there's like an objective.
Yeah.
Improv's hard for sure.
And I guess that whole thing too with like what you're just saying, like you have to be back and forth, like, because sometimes I talk to people in stand-up who are improvers, and they'll be like having beef with someone, like he was stealing all the attention on the stage, and like, yeah, there is a whole art, I think.
People are beefing with improvers because they're stealing attention. What do you mean?
No, like I'll talk to somebody who does improv, and they'll be saying like they're having issues within their improv group because somebody's like an attention whore.
A star. Someone's a star.
Yeah, but I think it's like, you get hello. You get like 4 stars trying to have a group together.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's why improv is so tough. Like finding an actual like chemistry and knowing when a person is even just like done talking. That's a skill.
Yeah, I don't think I want to learn it.
You don't have to.
I feel like there's too many things adjacent to stand up, and it's like I can't learn all these fucking things.
Yeah. Do you feel like stand up in itself is like a good creative outlet for you, or like it helps you express yourself?
Yeah, I think like do I sound weird?
Not to me.
It might be my headphones. Okay. But yeah, I like how independent it is, and that it's not dependent on a group dynamic.
Facts,
like
yeah.
it's I can come with my own thing, and I like how like it can be different things. It can be like you're expressing, I don't know, like my grimace bit is very weird, but then I can also do stuff that's more just like things I'm frustrated by, and it's very much like I can talk about anything very directly.
Yeah. Yeah, and then obviously in improv that wouldn't be possible because you have three other people to consider and where they want to take, where their thought process leads.
Yeah.
I agree with that totally.
Or like if you're writing a story, it has to like fit all into that one story, but like all of your improv or all of your stand-up sets can be kind of different, and then I don't know why.
Yeah, no, it can. I wonder if that hurts you, being more consistent in your themes, though. I'm starting to wonder that too now. Maybe it's not good to be so varied.
Well, yeah, because I do think there's the advice there too. Like the most successful comics are like super identifiable, so they're really always doing like the same thing.
Yeah.
Like you're a guy who complains about your job, and that's, if you do shit that isn't complaining, then suddenly like you're not that character. People don't identify you, and
Yeah, but you get, I think, more opportunities if you're just easily identifiable. But I don't know. Long term, I think creatively, I think it's better to do what you're doing, or I think what I'm doing. It's just talking about whatever is on your mind or on your heart.
Yeah, I feel like I hope that's true, that like the sort of, if you lean towards being authentic, that will, I also think, I don't know, I have to go along with it longer to just see like what my first hour ends up looking like.
Do you think, how far away do you think you would be to that? Or when do you envision yourself doing something like that?
So if I had more stage time, I could do it like later this year, because it's like I have a lot of material that I think is tight, but it's like I see it at small levels, so it is tight at the small level, but like I don't know how I feel about my material. Like I've never done 40 minutes, so I've done, the longest is like 25 minutes is the longest I've ever been on stage, and I've had a few times of doing like 20-minute chunks, but I feel like I'd have to do that a lot to sort of see if I like what I have all together. And then I think it wouldn't be long before I think my total time right now is like 45, so it wouldn't be long to fill out that hour. But then I'm like, I don't see myself suddenly getting tons of headlining gigs.
I mean, not for any of us. It's tough to come by. You got to do it yourself.
Yeah.
But also, you're right about that. Like, there's a big difference, obviously, between like 10 minutes and 20 minutes, 10 minutes and 40 minutes, 10 minutes and an hour. There's a big jump in holding people's attention. But I think that when you have when you speak on different things and you're much more unpredictable as a comic on stage because no one knows what you're going to talk about, then you have a better chance of lasting 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And being entertaining.
I think like Maria Bamford has a few different almost like personas on stage. Like she has an aspect of her that leans more like realistic and then more bizarre, but you're never like confused. Like she's Maria Bamford the whole time.
Yeah.
So I think it's doable to have like a range within your stuff.
Absolutely. Maria Bamford's a great example.
I saw her in the fall live.
Where?
It used to be called the Hummingbird Center. I think it's Meridian Hall.
Okay.
It was part of the Just for Laughs.
Okay. She's incredible. Is that one of your favorites?
She's not, I only got into her, I think, like the year I started stand-up. I'd heard of her, but I think it was just like one of my friends was like just going on about her, and then I finally sat down and started like watching her whole special. And
genius.
Yeah.
Like she's one of the few where it's like you're really pushing this art form forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorites?
My two favorites are Gary Goldman and Daniel Tosh. Do you know those?
I know Daniel Tosh for sure, but I don't think I've seen his stand-up. He had like a show where he did
Yeah, the
news clips or
video he did, like rate the internet. He kind of did like he did just it was like kind of America's Funniest Home Videos, but it was like internet clips.
yeah.
And I was like, whatever. His stand-up though, I think is like so overlooked, and he is also, I believe, a genius. He's really like biting, and he's really he's tight as hell, but he's not predictable, and he actually has a lot of heart in his bits. I fucking love Daniel Tosh, and Gary Goldman is like
Which one's Gary Goldman?
tall, long black hair, like Jewish.
Does he do the bit about? I can't remember what it's about now. The state abbreviations.
Yes,
Okay.
like
That guy's really good.
that bit changed my life. Changed my life. But he has a bunch of bits like that. Just that's a guy who you could tell he's simply just interested in creative writing.
Yeah.
And literature. God, he's so good. And Louis, of course, all the whatever.
CK?
Yeah, the usual ones.
Yeah.
Who would you
I think like right now, I like Nate Bargatze and Catherine Ryan.
Catherine Ryan? I have not seen any of her stuff. I mean, I've seen.
I'm pretty sure she has at least one special that's on Netflix. They might both be on there.
Good.
She's from Sarnia, but
I know.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you know who she is.
Yeah. When I moved to the UK, she was who I was being compared to. Or like she was like the success story of a Canadian moving to the UK
Yeah.
and blowing up.
Were you in the UK?
Yeah, weren't you doing comedy when I moved?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Oh. Maybe I was.
You don't know my life story? I was there, yeah, in 2023
Okay.
in London
Nice.
for 8 months.
How was it?
It was tough. It was actually quite tough. But the place is so expensive. And breaking into that scene is really hard. I wasn't super good. Not that I'm super good now, but it was it's a huge scene. There's so many comics, and it just felt very hard to get like any spots that meant anything. And this is a problem throughout my career, but every time I get a decent opportunity, I blow it. And I did nothing but blow it over there.
Oh, fuck.
I had like 2 or 3 actually good shows, and I think 2 of them I fucking just like embarrassed myself, and then one of them I did really well. And it was, of course, right before I was headed home. I remember like people coming up to me and being like, you should stay. And I was like, you need to see how the last 7 months went, because I don't think I couldn't. It was just, also I went through a really bad writer's block. Have you gone through that yet? Like,
No.
okay, I went through a writer's block that lasted like literally the extent of the 8 months, and that was scary. I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I know how to write anymore.
Fuck.
Yeah. What's the longest writer's block you've been to?
Well, I should say, like, I wrote more material my first year than I did in my next 2 years. So, and I have had to work harder. Like, so I remember at the beginning of 2025, like, I signed up for a comedy class just because I'm like, oh, it'll get me to write 5 minutes, right? Because you always end those classes with a 5-minute performance. But I think I only ended up with like a 4-minute performance. And then it was like, that was all I wrote from like the class was like January, February. But I think in like August, I was like, all I have from this whole year is just that 4 minutes from the class.
But it was good. Like, was it good? Was it like?
Yeah, like I still do it.
Oh, then you're being honest with yourself.
It's not bad, but
Dude, so many people would have written like 15, 20 minutes, but it was god awful. You had like 4 minutes that actually worked. That's huge. You're obviously a good editor.
Thank you. But yeah, it is like a weird thing the way like sometimes we're creative and sometimes we're not.
Yeah. When it disappears, yeah, that's tough. But when you're flowing, it feels incredible. Yeah.
Do you think you'll go back to England?
I genuinely would love to stay in Toronto. I love Toronto so much. Who knows where life will lead
Yeah.
for any of us? But I don't think about that. Right now, I just want to think about a way to make something happen here.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of untapped potential here in Toronto.
I kind of think I would like to stay in Toronto. And there's a couple things like I can't get the UK work permit because I aged out of it before I started comedy. And I'm afraid to go to America on a trip, let alone try to move there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like because one of my friends, her and I went to Austin a couple of years ago to try to get on Kill Tony, and I fucked it up and went on a weekend they weren't filming.
Yeah.
So that was amazing. But we had a fun trip, so we're talking about doing it again, and I'm like, I'm scared too. So those are the two kind of things people do, is go to England or go to America.
Pretty much. Yeah, no one's really moving to Australia or anything like that.
But I also think, like, I think it is, you know, like, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. It's like the opposite of that. It's like, if I could make it in England or the US, why can't I make it in Toronto?
Well, wouldn't you have? Oh, yeah, like, yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, yeah, you could build it here. Like, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I totally agree. That's what I think, too. Also, with this social media shit, with content, and, like, everyone's seeing stuff from around the world. So, like, yeah, why can't you make stuff happen here? You can develop fans all across North America.
Yeah.
So, I don't need to be over there. Also, dude, like, no offense to whatever, New York, but, like, New York, London, I've never really been super impressed. There's a ton of, like, very funny people, a ton, but there's a shit ton, an ass load of people who are literally, I think, like a poison to the form, and all they're here for is, like, just to become famous, and they have no interest in I think the actual art of it and expressing themselves and being honest. It's so, I don't want to be around that. I think here is way more authentic.
Yeah. I did some open mics in New York, and I remember being like, having this feeling like a lot of these people are TV writers, which is a weird thing to say as somebody who, like, really wants to write for TV.
Yeah.
But I feel like, yeah, it's like people who their driving force is fame.
Yeah.
So
yeah, bro, like, if you're at a mic and, like, and this is everywhere in New York, it's actually, that's why the mic scene over there is, like, the biggest waste of time. But if you're watching someone do comedy and you're on your phone, like, you are, I believe, going in the wrong direction totally. Like, you're, like, this is how you learn, even though this person might be bad. Just to be fucking zoned on, to be so self-centered, like, as a principle, you have to be open to everything, to be, the whole basis of comedy is, like, observation. So observe, like, again, that's why I love fucking mics. I've been doing mics so long. Maybe I sound like a loser to some people, but, like, I love mics because you meet all these new people who have no concept of how to do comedy, and they go up with their interpretation of it, and you absorb, like, I think so much more new shit than just watching whatever pro comics are in your scene.
Yeah.
There's so much more incredible, powerful moments, I believe, from open mics. But people think I'm a fucking, I don't know.
And there is like weird things of, like, you watch somebody on stage and they're trying to work out a story, but they're maybe not even, like, they're so new at it, they're just, like, trying to tell the audience what this story was. So if you're not a comic, like, I get that would just be boring. They haven't made this shit funny. But as a comic, you're like, it's, like, instructive. Like, you're seeing, like, how they're starting to put it together. And that, like, it's not, like, one obvious thing that you learn, but you watch them do it, and it kind of gives you something about, like, when you're going to tell something.
100%.
Like, it informs what you do. And watching people fail at stuff or try something different or...
And there's a humbling aspect to that as well. Obviously, because you're going to go up there and fail with your stuff, or you try it out. I think, definitely seeing people grow. Honestly, seeing, like, oh, guys, this sounds ridiculous, but one of, like, doing this for, like, 10 years, the greatest, like, one of the greatest joys for me is seeing a comic that's been bad for a while, get, like, their first laugh, or say something that's, like, truly insightful in a way that obviously works with the structure of comedy. That for me is, like, I'm so proud of some people. Like, not to say I'm better than anyone, but it's a gift of going to mics, is seeing people grow.
Yeah. Yeah, because especially, like, some people you're just like, like you think like person doesn't know how to do it, but then they do find it.
They figure it out.
It's just like
the case with everyone.
Yeah.
There's very few people who can't get better at comedy. You just gotta give them time. It's really hard for a lot of people. For me, it was really hard. I didn't want to do it how people are doing it. I was actually thinking about this. I don't think I like jokes. I genuinely don't think I give a shit about jokes or joke structure or writing in that way. But I love creative writing, and I just love being funny. As I think you also have a similar interest. You don't write, I don't think, in jokes necessarily. What do you think?
Sorry, I think I do some stuff that is more like what you do, but I think the bulk of what I do still sits in like the more standard like structure.
The stuff in that 4-minute maybe gold set that you had from the 1 year, maybe that's or is that weirder stuff?
I just think like sometimes I just do something where I'm more like in a vibe and I'm more like being something. And then other times I'm very much more like I'm trying to say something, and it works in a punchline format the same way like a poem will be rhyming.
So you have like you like can kind of see where lines like you know how to like make different things work in different forms.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I don't know if I have that.
I just know, like, and I don't think I've seen all your material, but I feel like you're very much in a doing it, like a...
That's all I'm doing.
Being... I don't want to say it's like doing a character, but it's like you're doing something that's more theatrical.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
And I do that a percentage of the time.
It feels like more, but anyways, great that you're more...
But maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe, I don't know.
Do you like one-liner shit? Do you like set up punchline? Like, do you dream about having a killer callback that will complete the set? And
I do like a 1-2 punch. Like I the same way I like a lot of poetry that rhymes, but it's like I don't want to see someone do just one-liners because at a certain point, like I like when people are giving an opinion and maybe like you come out with a punchline or like there's a punchline in here and there, but like it's like the whole like there's a premise.
I agree.
And I like when people's material, even if it's not all your material, I like when people tell stuff about themselves.
Yeah, that's a lot of comedy. I feel like a lot of comedy is talking about.
But some people who are really into one-liners, you don't know who that guy is.
Good point.
Like, is Anthony Jeselnik married? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, he tells us nothing.
Yeah, very rarely they go in depth. And that's another thing that is lacking, I think, from a lot of comedy. That's why Maria Bamford, a person like that, is so interesting because, remind me, does she go in depth about herself? Or does she like just, I haven't seen her stuff in a while. I can't remember.
She does like, yeah, like when I saw her, like she was talking about like her parents had died. She talked about how like she almost lost her house in the wildfires and her Trumper neighbors like saved the house. So you did, but then she also did like all this other shit that was like less focused on her.
But she offers like some insight into her life and actual like a unique perspective, which is
And I think in other specials she's talked about mental health, her eating disorder, just like random shit like touring.
Yeah. No, that's what I value the most, like, but it's tough to come by. I don't think people try to, I think, be insightful at first, and then they realize like it's actually kind of hard, so then they just go into, I think, writing, I don't know, just whatever. So much is like whatever. I don't know. Sorry, I have a really hard time explaining.
Do you find it hard talking about yourself?
Yeah. I also like talking about what I think about things.
You don't like talking about what you think about things?
Yeah, I think so.
Like in stand-up or in general?
In general, if I have to give like an answer longer than 3 sentences about what I think, I just literally have a aneurysm. I don't know what it is.
Like, is it like a not wanting to be judged or?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, you could put, yeah, what does it seem like to you? Do I seem like insecure? Like I'm
No.
really? But no, I definitely like think about if I'm giving my opinion, even though I've been doing it all these years, like I what I'm saying is that other people should be doing, or like what any of us should be doing, is probably what I'm not doing. I'm that's my fear of being full of shit.
Yeah.
And I think that's like so common with comics or anybody in any field. They're just so quick to talk.
Yeah.
Quick to...
I find like one of the things I don't like about stand-up, it feels like a very, like in one way people are artsy and they're like they're open to people being different, but then they're also constantly judging people. Like,
yeah.
And like even just like going up on stage and having like a really hard stance on everything, because that's kind of like how comedy works. You're not like up there to give a nuanced understanding of things.
For the most part.
Yeah.
For the most part. Not if you're good, I believe you can have a nuanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's like, and I think that comics are very much like there's a craving amongst a lot of them to call out bullshit. So then you can feel like there isn't like forgiveness or room for contradiction.
Yeah, but the extent of their calling out of bullshit is literally just, isn't this stupid? Isn't this dumb? And then they don't offer any like actual understanding or insight into the problem or how it connects to why someone might be doing this.
Yeah.
No one, like most people.
My least favorite thing is when people will go like, they'll try to point out the irony that Christians wear crosses. It's like, because it's like wearing an electric chair around your neck.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is something like, if you've never heard of Christianity, it's a clever opinion.
And that, that goes for so many jokes about Christianity. Just zero knowledge about like what you're talking about. But that's, again, most of comedy. No, I was talking about this with other comics, and of course I'm against like obviously what Catholic priests did.
Yeah.
Of course, but like the Catholic priest jokes, it's like, bro, other leaders of every sort of group have done terrible shit too, across the entire breadth of humanity's groups. It's like, so you're just shitting on us just simply because you're scared to call out other issues in the world. Mm-hmm. So you're not. So instead of you're trying to be like some, I don't know, what the fuck, truth to power type shit. But you're actually like, scared.
And it's like almost like the obvious opinion for like an art form that skews like male is to be like, everything needs to be real and proven and true. And there's no, like to be non-religious in Canada is like, that's so obvious.
Yeah. So
it's like you're not saying, I think it's more powerful to go up on stage and say like, I actually use astrology to like orient my life, because it's a ridiculous thing to do. Therefore it's more interesting to talk about that.
Is that something you do?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that for?
Like I think I got brainwashed by TikTok during COVID. And that's how, like, I don't take, like, I stopped looking at astrology when I was a teenager because I was like, this is really silly. But then I just kind of got interested in, like, paying attention to it.
Yeah.
Almost in a jokey kind of way, or like, this isn't real. I just like thinking about myself. But then I'm like, oh, I actually think about this every day, and it does help orient my life.
Dude, there must be a meaning to all this. There must be a connection with us and nature and everything in the universe.
Yeah.
There must be.
And I think I also, like, in the past few years, I've been reading a lot this woman called Karen Armstrong. And she was a nun in the 70s, but it wasn't working for her, so she left. But she spent her whole career writing books on, like, the history of religion. So she writes about Christianity, Islam, Judaism, others. And it's made me more like interested in a lot of different religions.
Any in particular that have really
It actually, I don't know. She talks, I think one of the most stirring things she wrote was she wrote about St. Paul the Apostle, but within the context of that, she talks about Christianity in its early years.
Sure.
And how it was under Roman authority.
Yeah.
And why it would have like been powerful and necessary for those people. And I was really moved by that.
Was Paul Roman or was he
was
Syrian?
He was Jewish. I don't know.
Where? Well, it would have been that region, like obviously, like
yeah,
Judea
like he's
or like
in
Syria.
the Middle East, and then he's like, but it's a Roman province.
Interesting story.
Yeah, but I think, yeah, it was just a weird thing to like kind of go into comedy and be around all these comedians who are like mocking religion at a time when I was like, oh, but there's so much more. And I think we live in a hyper rationalist world that's very like not making a ton of sense.
Yeah.
While everyone insisting they're right and smart, while not persuading anyone and becoming less mentally healthy.
Yeah. As opposed to maybe accepting that there's like something that is controlling things and something that like we can't ever really understand.
Yeah, and that the same way, like, when you go to the gym, you know that makes you healthy.
Yeah.
And if you spend time, like, reveling in the unknown or praying or meditating, like, is there not, like, an inherent, like, maybe that makes you healthy?
Yeah.
So then when you're like,
Sure.
no, nothing is good unless it's true and you can prove it.
Yeah, I think like the ceiling for your wisdom is like very low at that point. I think honestly that's a great thing about like obviously the three main Judeo-Christian religions is like how much time they spent like studying our connection to nature. And I think just that alone is a reason to study religion and what organized faith has offered humanity in terms of that knowledge. And I think just disregarding it, maybe in comedy was a thing because people thought it would make you more like objective as a thinker. But I actually think it just a lot of maybe falsities and maybe crudeness was the product of it. Anyways.
I think there's also like if you were like Lenny Bruce or George Carlin, you were existing in a time when people still held, like, were kind of under the church. Like,
Yeah.
people hadn't, like, those institutions held more power.
Yeah.
And so it was speaking truth to power to be like, I think that's bullshit. True. But then you get, like, to our time, and it's like, well, it's just not, we already know you don't have to listen to the Pope. Like, so it's not.
No, it's for real. I mean, I've family in Italy. You have family in Greece still, I imagine.
I don't think we're in touch with anyone.
Okay, well, I know for sure in Italy the relationship with the church is like weakening. They're still very Catholic, but I mean the young people much less so. And I imagine the same thing with the rest of Europe.
Yeah.
Just change. But still, though, there's a lot of good stuff coming from that stuff. Same with like not just Christianity, of course. I'm talking about like Judaism and Islam and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think also like within like people don't get that like not every Catholic is like the same thing. Like I went to a Catholic college and I remember being kind of learning like Canadian Catholics are more moderate than say like the Catholicism in Africa because sure. Like every country tends to have its own political like temperature and then people tend to take their religion like I don't know how to explain it. Like there's in Canada, people are kind of like a certain vibe. So Protestants, Catholics, and Muslims will all have a similar vibe, even though they're practicing different religions. But then if you narrow into, say, like Catholics in Canada, there'll be like a spectrum of like with most people in the middle here and then like fringer elements, which there's the more conservative, but there's also every religion always has the kind of hippie elements from it. So you'll meet like Catholics who are going to like a silent retreat or they want to like, what's that big pilgrimage that people do? It's in Spain, where you like walk for many days.
Joe did it. Oh my God. God, I can't remember the name, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So just the idea that like if you're this specific faith, it doesn't mean you're one thing within that.
No, absolutely not. And also, just with the society, like based off what the demographics are of your population, like the interaction of those two sects or multiple sects will influence what type of religion you are as an individual. Do you know what I mean? So if you have a bunch of Protestants, but a bunch of Muslims, it will influence how you are as a Christian or how you are as a Roman Catholic. It's very interesting.
So when you were growing up, your neighborhood was mostly Italian and Portuguese?
Yeah.
Did you guys have like a rivalry with the Portuguese kids?
Yeah, because we all played soccer. Yeah. So, but now they're the best. Portuguese people are the fucking best. I'm being serious. They're so nice. My first girlfriend was a Portuguese girl, and really opened my eyes. Like we were just shit on each other nonstop. Obviously joking, like sorry, me, not her, me and her, but like, I mean, the boys, like the Italian boys, Portuguese guys, would just shit on each other. But once you get to know like how Portuguese people are, they're so generous.
Yeah.
God, they're so nice. I hope they win the World Cup.
Are they contenders for it?
Yeah, they're in it. Yeah.
Fuck. Are we hosting the World Cup?
We're like 4 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
So most of it's in the U.S., but some of it's here.
Yeah.
And some of it's in Mexico?
Yeah.
Are you going to go to any games?
Not to the game, but probably I'll catch a game at a bar or something. Sick, no?
What teams are going to play in our town?
Dude, if Italy qualified, they would have played Canada BMO.
Oh, no.
Yeah, sucks. But I don't know, probably a couple Canada games for sure. And then once we exit the first round, they're off to America. Yeah. Do you care about soccer? Do you care about?
No.
Me neither,
I
honestly. I don't want to make it seem like I do.
I just I don't pay attention to sports very well.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking stupid when you get older.
It needs characters and a story, or I can't follow it.
Yeah, I agree. It's these guys are way younger than me now. I don't give a shit.
But I like massive public events, so I think it's cool that FIFA's coming.
You're community minded.
What's the show that you host in Parkdale?
It's a show at Osprey Cafe, run by me and Matt Render.
How has that been going?
Good, you did it.
Yes.
You had fun?
I had an amazing time. You guys had a really good crowd.
Yeah. Sometimes it is good. Sometimes it's bad. But usually it's good.
Okay.
Good show, yeah.
Okay. Do you like producing?
No, I don't like doing it. I just want to do comedy.
But Render's a good partner.
Yeah, I've known Render forever. Render was around when I first started.
Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
10 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who else have you been with like the whole time?
Callum O'Neill. And that's pretty much it. Even Matt like took breaks for the most part. Now he's been going at it for a while, like consistently for like 3-4 years. But really the only person who's been there from the beginning is Callum. And Robert Cackham. Do you know Robert Cackham?
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert too. Robert, I remember we met in line at the corner March 2017.
That's crazy.
Because you used to have to line up outside the corner to sign up for their Monday mic it was. And yeah, it was crazy seeing another high schooler pull up. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Robert's sick. Robert, you know Robert?
He's really talented. I see him a lot. I feel like whenever I do amateur night, he's on.
Yeah.
Like he's the pro on. Yeah.
He signed
guesting.
with us. Yeah. Yeah. Went through a lot. He had like stomach issues that like debilitated him for a while.
And he had like surgeries and shit.
I think so. Yeah, he did.
Fuck.
And he overcame it. Now he's I don't know what if he's happy or not, but I hope he is.
I find like Robert's interesting because his style, it's like I shouldn't like his comedy, but I do.
It's so, yeah.
He's just, I don't know if it's just, you know, like you might not like a genre of film, but if it's done really well, you'll like it.
Yeah.
I think that's like what's happening with him.
He's so honest. I just love how honest he is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe that too, like authenticity is hard to argue with.
Yeah. When he's willing to go like kind of like that, self-deprecating, like that.
Or just stuff like he'll like he has this bit about he's just talking about how into gambling he is, but he's like justifying gambling, and I'm like on his side for it.
Yeah. When we started, there was a big rivalry between me and him, and it kind of maybe hurt the relationship for a little while. And this was, I think, due to the older comics at the corner, who would kind of like always be like, "Oh, Robert's getting more spots than you. Foggia's doing this," or Robert's.
Oh.
People would say actually a lot that Robert was a better writer than me, and I was just like a good performer, which to this day kind of cheeses me. God. Not because it has anything to do with Robert, just when people say, "Oh, he's a good writer, he's a good performer," like, shut the fuck up. What do you know about comedy?
Yeah.
But yeah, that caused I think a rift in what could have been a nice little teenage friendship.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hate that. I think because sometimes people tell me I'm a good writer, but then I feel like the subtext is they're telling me I'm not a good performer.
Exactly.
And it's like, It's like if you had kids, you wouldn't be like, well, you're the smart one and you're good at sports.
Yeah.
Like you understand, like everyone's growing both capacities, so no one wants to feel pigeonholed.
Yeah.
Like
would you say you're like you're performative also to I think a higher degree than a lot of people.
Thank you.
I think that sincerely. Same with Joe. Like your voice, the tone, with certain comics. Like just if you're not fucking like bouncing off the walls, that doesn't make you not performative. You know how to utilize your voice and your rhythm to communicate a story or communicate a joke, whatever.
Yeah.
I think you do that differently than a lot of people. Whereas a lot of people are very like structured and shit.
Yeah.
But everyone do that. That annoys me so much when it's like just because you stand there and you fucking say lines one after the other. This guy's a great writer. What? No. So a lot of people just know how to do comedy. They know how to like hit points, and they know like how to structure a joke. But nothing you're actually saying is like funny. No offense. It's not actually like, I don't know. Dude, there's so much more to this than just like, oh, you're a good writer, you're a good performer. Shut the fuck up.
If you were teaching a comedy class, like, do you know how you would teach it?
Yeah. Open with field trip, Toronto Island. Okay, sorry. I'm the cool teacher. No, dude, I would just, you literally cannot give anybody advice. I wouldn't hate on people for like, a lot of guys start comedy and they have opinions which seem angry, but really they're just trying to figure out like truths about their world, and they just don't know how to develop a nuanced opinion about it. But definitely don't give people advice early on, and don't shit on people for fucking up. I found when I started, Toronto comedy was so much meaner. Or maybe I just sucked especially hard. But I found I would go up there and I would try to be honest about my 18, 19-year-old life and try to be out there and be like unique. And it just came across as fucking sometimes like offensive. And I felt like people just fucking latched on. Like, I remember I was up at Yucks. I was maybe like 18, 19 years old. And I remember I said a joke which may have been perceived as homophobic. I don't think it was, but this gay veteran comic was in the back of the room. And he just went to another comic I remember I heard, and he was like, wow, these new comics are really homophobic nowadays. And it's like that shit just like spreads. Like he's talking about you to one guy, he's talking about you to like 3-4 guys. And then I just found I just don't think I was liked. I felt like ostracized by the scene. Did you find that when you first started, where it was like people were forgiving or unforgiving when you fucked up?
I felt like alienated, but not in a sense of like people were mad at me, but just like I felt like I kept having this feeling like everybody's young and they get each other and they're like in a vibe together, and I'm like like the foreign exchange student. Like, no one's mad at me.
Yeah.
But it's just like, so she's here.
No one knows you.
Yeah.
That's literally all it is. It'd be the same thing in any workplace.
Yeah. And I think it was like a lot of just the way I like contextualized it. Like, because just being in the scene now, I feel like I do feel like a sense of like knowing everybody and like
Absolutely.
a connection to people. And I think it's just, yeah. And I think I didn't realize like how like other people that I might have thought were in the scene had also just shown up. And then like with people who were farther along, it's like they might not be able to remember me because they're seeing so many people all the time.
Sure.
Like,
and you've been around for so little, like back
yeah,
then or whatever.
Yeah, like I feel like now that I'm 3 years in, like I'm like, oh yeah, when new people come, you don't think about them too much because they'll be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
But anyone who's around for a while, then you know them. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you do this a while, you can't take to every new comic. You can't make everyone feel welcome. It's starting comedy is really hard.
Yeah,
really hard.
And as much as I thought, oh, if I was younger, I'd fit in more. I think the people who will be recognized the fastest are just the loudest people, but they'll also maybe get more flack from people around them.
Take more risks. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I couldn't tell you why people pop off and other people don't. I know. Yeah. If you're a hot young woman, and you're decently funny, you're for real. You can pop off. But besides that, I don't know what else. It's tough to gauge.
I watched this like podcast interview that Breslin did where he talked about how like he didn't think Jim Carrey would go far because he was doing impressions and he's like, well, where could you go with that?
Yeah. How wrong was he? Yeah, dude, no one knows anything. Literally no one knows anything. But I can't. Anyways. Maybe I shouldn't be doing podcasts. And we're just like, why are we even talking about this shit? Because I truly don't think we... Okay, podcasts are good because maybe there's like people who want to know about comedy. But comics should not be like proselytizing, giving their opinion on what this is. Because this changes so much. And you've been doing this for like how long you've been doing it. There's a whole history of oratory and monologists, what the fuck you want to call them. You don't know the ins and outs. We don't know the ins and outs of this art form. And we probably never will to completion. So just like accept that you're a learning grasshopper and you must learn. That's it.
I love it. Okay. I think that's what we're going to end on. Is there anything you want to plug?
No, this was an honor.
Okay. I'm going to plug your show at Osprey Cafe.
Last Friday of the month in Parkdale.
Okay. Thanks, David.
Thanks, Karen.